So now we're going to hear that Mint Mobile question.
Hey, John and crew. I was just wondering about your thoughts about the Thunderbolts perhaps being led by a Baron von Zemo and then to go overthrow a Latvian republic. Maybe there'd be an leading into the Fantastic Four happening. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Thanks for taking the time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Ooh, wouldn't that be fantastic? Okay, so could we have Baron von Zemo leading the Thunderbolts, having them go up against the Latvian government and ushering us into a Fantastic Four kind of moment here? Is that a possibility for the Thunderbolts? Now, I know there's been speculation about Zemo being involved in that because of that URL, right? Having that right up in there. But we absolutely do not know if Zemo's part of this at this point in time. That's all speculation. But with that said, Rob, do you think there's legs to this?
I like that idea.
Yeah?
I mean, I've heard nothing to this. I don't know what their Thunderbolts movie is going to be about. Clearly, it's they know they've got the cast. I can't wait. I'm glad I got that Taskmaster figure. But I am glad because now it's gone up in value.
Yeah.
But no, I think that's a great idea. I mean, I'm still of the belief that maybe they will introduce Victor Von Doom in Wakanda Forever.
Ooh.
You know, because we've seen diplomats, you're going to have to on the world stage. I mean, I don't necessarily think that Doctor Doom has to be forged at the same time that the Fantastic Four are.
Right.
You know, even though they've always tried to play that off in the movies, I'm like, can't he have his own life?
Yeah.
You know, and maybe he already is. Maybe Latveria is already run by him. We just don't know. But yeah, the Thunderbolts doing something like that, destabilizing a Latvian, toppling a Latvian regime or something. I like that idea.
I think that's fun.
And introducing Doctor Doom in a Thunderbolts movie, I like that too. And if Baron Zemo is going to lead them, why not? I love Daniel Bruhl. I love Zemo. It's great. And he was great in Falcon and Winter Soldier. So bring him on. I think, see, to me, I prefer a more serious bent. I mean, as much as I like Shang-Chi, it wasn't, you know, it became high fantasy at the end. Thor Love and Thunder was just, I like seeing that Secret Invasion trailer. Maybe we could be like, oh, right, now I know we're getting back to the Marvel universe that I like, which is, you know, more serious fantasy as opposed to goofy fantasy.
So like a whole bunch of Zemo dancing is what you really want?
No.
That's what I'm hearing?
I mean, look, people in the real world, people dance.
That's true.
You know, especially
That's
if you're
true.
European.
Not me.
Europeans
I'm from that
do
town
not.
in Footloose.
Yeah, if you go to a party in Europe, people dance. There's nobody sitting there going, I don't dance. Everyone in Europe dances. They just do.
No, that makes sense.
Zemo's a dancer.
Yeah, if you're a baron or just a regular civilian,
You're
getting on the dance floor. Well, I like that idea.
Hey guys, we want to thank the sponsor of today's episode, Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile offers premium wireless starting at just $15 a month. And now for the plot twist. I'm just kidding, there isn't one. Seriously, Mint Mobile just has premium wireless service from $15 a month. There's no trapping you into a 2-year contract or opening the bill to find these crazy fees. There's no luring you in with free subscriptions to streaming services that you'll forget to cancel and be charged full price for. I used to dread opening my phone bill every month because every time I was opening it, it was like playing roulette. I never knew what the actual price was going to be, and it always seemed to get higher. But not with Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile gives you the best rate whether you're buying for one or a family, and at Mint, families start at 2 lines. All plans come with unlimited talk and text, plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. And if you're worried about the complication of switching things over, don't. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and keep your phone number along with all your existing contacts. So guys, get premium wireless from just $15 a month and no unexpected plot twists at mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Seriously, you'll make your wallet very happy at mintmobile.com/Campea.
Amy, how do you feel about this kind of theory? Would you like to see this kind of introduction and lead into Fantastic Four?
I think that could work. I'm going to be honest, this is getting into the level of Marvel stuff where I get a little lost because I'm not super familiar with the comics. So this is definitely getting into that realm where I'm like, yeah, that sounds cool. So that is my hot take. Yeah, all right.
I love it.
Well, there's a character as big as Doctor Doom. We could all at least say whether we think a character of that magnitude should just be thrown in at the end of like a Thunderbolts. I mean, we could, we could at least say if that's something that you would like to see or you want a more grander introduction to this character. For me, I don't know much about Doctor Doom. All I know is every statue that I see this character in, he looks like the baddest dude ever. I mean, I love him sitting on that throne statue where he has like that little goblet and he's just like this, like he just looks like he just did something and he won. He beat something. Like, I mean, that's how I imagine I look if I ever beat a video game. Like, I mean, there'll be a lot of more Cheetos and cheese involved. There'll be a lot more Dr. Pepper, but that's how I want to. I mean, this character looks cool. I think he should be introduced without the Fantastic Four. Like Rob said, he doesn't need them. It's not like Reed Richards. As soon as he's born, he comes out of his mom's womb, automatically, magically, Doctor Doom comes out of it. It shouldn't work like that. It should never work like that. They should, even the villains, even if they eventually are killed off, they should have their own story that we could actually, because it's
Zemo does.
Yeah.
That's why I think he's a more realized villain, and it was great to see him come back.
When you need justification for your actions, because no one sees themselves as the villain.
Yeah.
You never see yourself as the villain. No matter how shitty a human being is, they think they're doing the right thing. So I love giving him more of a backstory in this. My only issue is I don't know why Zemo would choose to lead this group and participate in this, because he's a little chaotic devil. He's a little freewheeling agent. I could see him maybe joining forces and then doing his own thing.
Or that's part of his plan. Him and Doctor Doom team up at the end.
Ooh, there we go.
Something.
I really like your Wakanda Forever idea, though, Rob, because I love the idea of introducing him as a diplomat of sorts, as a head of state.
Yeah.
And then we see a bit more of like a charismatic political figure, because that's one of the things I always find fascinating about Victor Von Doom, is that he isn't always just, this big foreboding force who's dealing with Reed Richards and stuff. He's a politician. He's a leader. And people like him and rally behind him.
Yeah.
And that's much more exciting in a villain than somebody who's just mustache twisting, wearing a metal mask, Well,
and Latveria is not a superpower.
Exactly.
It's a smaller country. He's ruling with an iron fist or whatever, but he has dreams of world domination. And the political structure of this is another thing that really bothers me. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has completely given short shrift to where the world's at. When Wakanda allowed its existence to be known, how was the rest of the world affected?
Right.
All the world, Russia, the United States, Europe, the NATO pact. This would be the ramifications would be huge.
Mm-hmm.
And none of this has been dealt with. And it's really bothered me. Like, all we ever see is, and I'm not saying, well, we should do a political, or maybe they should do a political thriller. Like,
would love that.
they do a 3 Days of the Condor, or do a Parallax View or something.
That's what I'm hoping the Captain America NWO is going to be.
Absolutely, where you can examine where is the Earth at. To me, the Earth would be in shambles between the religious views that have been shook around the world, whether you're dealing with the Muslim world, whether you're dealing with Judeo-Christian world,
Catholicism because of Daredevil.
Catholicism, and you got celestials in the skies, and people coming out of the earth. It's like, where is the belief system of humankind at this point? Tattered.
Man, all my friends who are into Norse mythology would be like, "You stupid Catholic! Look, it's Guardians."
Well, I mean, what do? You literally have gods on Earth now, and poor humans. We don't know anything about the political, other than the Sokovia Accords.
Yeah. I think it'd be really, really interesting to take that political turn. And I also want to see Latveria and Wakanda kind of join forces, because everyone's trying to exploit all of their, resources and everything. If
that would be
Victor Von
really
Doom-
interesting. Von Doom comes along and says, well, now you're being attacked by this because I guess they would be the two technologically most advanced. I mean, what would that do to the United States when you realize these two mysterious civilizations just suddenly appeared? Like, how would we deal with that as a superpower?
You would buy their hot toy, Rob.
I already
Wakanda
do.
and the whole country of
Well, I'm
Wakanda.
glad we're getting into that in Black Panther too, because we have that little kind of United Nations moment.
Absolutely.
That's going to be interesting.
And that's why I think Wakanda Forever, that's one of the things I'm most anxious about, is how are they going to deal with the reorganized political structure of the world?
For sure. Yeah.
I mean, just to add, Namor is a really big character, right?
Yeah.
Yes, huge.
And
Part of the Illuminati.
he's being introduced right away in Wakanda Forever.
Right.
So Marvel, I thought he would have a much more grander, introduction. So,
Well, and it looks like in the comics, Namor, they flood Wakanda. And if they flood Wakanda, because Wakanda, I mean, it's going to be interesting. Are they going to go to war?
Yeah.
Then how's the rest of the world? Does America step in and use nukes? Like, what goes on here?
It's gonna be really interesting to see how it all
And the
pans out.
Na'vi.
Yeah. All right.
Feel
And
good
how
about my
are the Na'vi
contributions here. Oh, I pulled up another picture of the Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kids leads. I haven't been here for about 10 minutes. What are we talking about?
We're talking about
Reggae, John.
But no, let me ask you this, though. How do you feel about where the Marvel Cinematic Universe is at? Like, would you dig a more political storyline if they were dealing with, you know, these emergent nations and Doctor Doom and all that? Would that be something that would interest you, or would you prefer it to stick with just superheroes?
I dig anything they are doing that is more specific. So yes, I would enjoy that, because I don't mean to go, I'm bored of superhero movies, because I'm not. They're still doing some really fantastic stuff. But I find the more specific, that something like, I feel like we use the example a lot, WandaVision. At least that first half felt so specific, so unique, delving into grief, delving into, you know, this woman's psyche. That show worked because it wasn't just more superheroes. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But yes, I absolutely would love to see just digging into more specifics, more repercussions of, yeah, there are superheroes. What does that mean? You know, this isn't just people dying with no repercussions. What does that mean for people? What does that mean on a political level?
couldn't agree with you more.
I do think the idea of, yeah, what does that mean for religion?
Yeah, but you're not going to get mired in that.
No, I'm not saying
you
that
can't
you
make
do.
a whole movie about like, hey, religion doesn't exist. Like, that's kind of bullshit. Like, no one's going to watch that.
No, but I mean, look, you know, like when Wakanda was introduced in Civil War, and you met T'Chaka and he was assassinated, that was really interesting how you met T'Challa in that, within the confines of that specific, and it was that specific conflict that Steve Rogers had with Tony Stark, and the teams were drawn. That was more specific in terms of it was dealing with a certain issue,
Yeah.
and the superheroes were surrounding that issue.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. Specificity is always better.
I'm going to end this conversation and say another big BS thing is that there's no dim sum places around here.
So on track.
I'm so hungry, so let's get this going.
I mean, is everyone in agreement, though, that we'd like to see Von Doom introduced maybe away from the Fantastic Four as his own entity?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, more organically.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for prompting that discussion. We really appreciate it. Guys, let us know what you think in the comments down below. Would you like to see Von Doom and Zemo in Thunderbolts? Would you like to see Von Doom in some different application? Let us know your thoughts and theories, okay?